Hey, 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 how's everyone doing? Guys, as you know, presented by Prize Picks. Get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 and you use the promo code WELCOME. Welcome to Light Years, a Monday night edition here. Andy, I feel like, look, the Warriors just lost to the Clippers. In some ways, I'd say it's more frustrating because they played a good first half. And then the end of the game just went the way, silent Chase Center. I would say actually the most depressing thing about watching Warriors games is how silent Chase is all the time. But also it's kind of the perfect representation of where we're at with this team, which is I don't even think people are angry. I mean, there's like that percentage online who honestly now I just mute and block in general. But like my overarching sentiment of talking to people in the Bay, people who touch grass, people who live around town and actually, have real lives, man, people are just out on this team. This is checked out. It's you texted me. It's depressing. I don't disagree with you in terms of that, but to me, it's more just like indifference, man. It's like, great. You guys suck. Or you don't even suck. You're just boring and going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of the way I would put it. Like, suck. Like the Sacramento Kings suck. These guys, in some ways, it'd be better if these guys sucked. They sucked. I could pivot this pod to talking about Darren Peterson versus Cam Boozer versus AJ Diambonsa. And those dudes can ball. And I me, I can get into that. These dudes are just, it's a bunch of ninth men, eighth men, whatever you want to call it, who compete their asses off. They're just simply not talented enough. They're going to still be in the play-in. Steph might save them in the play-in. He might not save them in the play-in. I don't know. I don't know if Steph's going to play in the play-in, to be honest with you, at the rate we're going right now. But it's like there's nothing they can do to actually improve their draft odds, and there's nothing they can do to actually improve their ability to be a playoff team. So I don't know, man. I guess this is why you're so angry when you talk about the Giants, because this is what this like, right?
What an intro. The intro even feels longer, by the way, when the Warriors are playing like this. Felt like we sat for 3 minutes waiting for the music to end before we got go. Hey, look, the people got us. We're still post game. If it isn't you and I, Tommy's gonna be here doing post game after every game. If the Warriors, actually, I'll say this: the Warriors did show up tonight. They did play well, like you said, in the first half. But if they don't show up in the second half, they'll always get the Light Years podcast showing up after every game. Yeah, the comments are hilarious. Appreciate everyone joining us live after the game. Hit like and subscribe for us, please, if you enjoy the content. I mean, you got to enjoy the content. You guys are here. I mean, I don't think people are here to listen to us analyze the game tonight, Sam. I think people are here for us, right? To just have some fun. I have a smile on my face, Sam, because
chat want to hear about the sideline out of bounds play with Guy Santos. Is that what?
Come on. I think not today. I think not this week. I think perhaps not even this season. But look, hey, I watched the whole game. I don't really know why I watched the whole game. I've kind of watched bits and pieces, going to be honest with you, over the last couple of weeks. Tonight, I had the time, and I watched the whole game, and I kind of enjoyed myself. Nate Williams, we were texting about a little bit. He's actually kind of tall. Looked like he shoot a little bit, and then, second half shows up, and I realized
new Anthony Morrow.
Shot was kind of nice. I made a couple threes, but second half came and realized he can't actually dribble, and this is why he's not an NBA player, right? Not his fault. So I think we're gonna be seeing a lot of that, Sam, here in the next couple weeks. But I think the Giants, we go to that a lot. We go to the Giants comp a lot. The Giants comp from 2018, 19 onwards, which is basically when they fell to the bottom and got that number 2 pick, and then decided to never pay the tax again. And from then on, so 7 years now of 500 perpetuity is where the Giants are at. The worst part is not that they drafted 2 overall and got Joey Bart. That is not the worst part. The worst part is that they decided never to actually fail, put together extremely boring rosters, trying to hold on to the past, and then nobody showed up. And when you say Chase Center tonight was silent, that's what that looks like. It is actually worse than tanking, because not only are you not succeeding, you actually don't have a future, and people don't care. At least if you're tanking, you can sell us on. I don't even
Look,
know
man,
prospects. I don't even know what but it's a different
one
story.
of these years. One of these years, if you tank, you'll get an interesting young player. You can sell. You can sell. You know,
I buy that. I would buy that.
I mean, like, obviously you can sell Cooper Flag. That goes without saying. But like, dude, let's say they sucked and it was a year you get Con Knipple number 4. You can sell that because at least he's good. He's interesting.
Selling that right now. It's a good team.
And you don't, and like the thing with a guy like that is you don't have a ceiling on him yet at that point. That's kind of the part that's frustrating with this Warriors team. And Pods had a really good first half. He had 20 points in the first half. You know what he finished the game with?
He had
22.
24.
Yeah, 22. Which is, I'm not even saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying, like, look, no one was probably more optimistic on his upside than me, just because I thought he showed enough, and I thought the second half leap last year was pretty interesting, and I thought there was a chance he'd go beyond there. And he is improving, but it's like such incremental stuff, as opposed to a leap. And you can throw Moses Moody in there too. Moses has been excellent. Moses has been awesome. But my point is, like, these are all guys who are just like, they're good players. None of them are guys who will change the future of your franchise. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it becomes a little more, we talk about hope. You know, if Pods was making a great leap and they were still losing the game, I think you and I would be pretty happy, right? Like we'd say, like, oh, go extend Pods, give him $30 million, and he can be, you know, a good scoring player. Like, what if he was Tyler Hero, right? Then it's like
he might be better than him, by the way. But
well, I don't know. I'm talking about like the good version.
Not as a scorer, not a scorer, to be clear. But yeah,
but like good version back when he was. I don't even. Yeah, maybe Tyler Hero just sucks now. But let's go back in time a little bit to a couple of years ago when he was really good. I don't even know why I bring him up, but just some version of a young player that you can dream on a little bit. I think that's the point here. That's frustrating too. Is like, if we can dream on Pods or Moody a little bit, that would make these games more exciting. The last 20 games of the season, but we kind of can't dream on these guys because it's like you said, it's like. The improvements are incremental, but they're incremental for a reason. They're incremental because they're always going to be incremental. There's never going to be, we wake up and Pods is suddenly Darius Garland, right? Even Darius Garland tonight, it's like he just came back.
I'm pretty out on Garland, but I hear what you're saying.
If Pods was Darius Garland, I'd be pretty damn happy. Like, that's pretty damn good for this team. That type of player, they can't even get that type of player. That's not an easy player to get. I mean, let's just be honest. Like, you're not always going to get the Steph Currys, but they're not even getting what's Garland, 2 tiers below that, maybe 3. Pods is what, 6 or 7 tiers below that. So that's the tough part. That's the tough part of this, is we can't even dream on some of these young players, because wins and losses, I don't think I'm mad about anymore. You know, I don't think we're too frustrated.
It just is what it is on this season, right? It is what it is. We all know that. We all know the reality. The Jimmy injury ended the season. They had a chance at the trade deadline to maybe change that narrative per Warriors brass. They didn't, because they're idiots per usual. Sorry, like I'm tired of pretending this is all about like Steve Kerr and development and stuff. It's like, motherfuckers, you guys are an average front office at best. Stop it. Stop it. And pretending that, it's anything more than that, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's like you go down the roster, like Pods, good first half, meh, Not really a good second half. Kind of couldn't stop the bleeding in any capacity. Ended the game with a good stat line, 22, 7, and 3. Fine, but we all watched the game. So, fine. Good player. Limitations. Moses Moody, not his best game, but like even with Moody, to your point, like you never really dream about what he can be. You're just more of the he is what he is, and I like what he is, and this is a good player to have type of player, right? Guy Santos, I would say, is the exact same way, where you're just like, this is a solid player in the rotation. Even like the older guys, like a D'Anthony Melton. Melton's excellent. Don't get me wrong, but like he's an excellent role player, And so that's where we're at with this team. It's kind of frustrating. It's kind of unwatchable in many ways because they neither give you the joy of competing for something or like the allure of upside and imagining that one day it can be that thing.
Yep. I think that's where we're at with these guys. I didn't realize Nate Williams had 18 points, by the way. That's really what we're that's what we're dreaming on tonight, Sam. I did not realize Nate Williams was 5 for 8 from the field, 6 free throws, 3 threes, 18 points.
That's my guy, Nate Williams. Hooper. He can shoot the ball. He can shoot the ball, dude.
Yeah.
We found the new Anthony Morrow. We found the new Anthony Morrow here. Maybe not. But like that is also kind of where we're at with like, guys in the G League. You find these like hidden gems who can do something, but they can't do everything. I promise you, if he was Klay Thompson, he wouldn't be in the G League. If he was Shea, he wouldn't be in the G League. Sorry.
Well, let's do a direct comparison. I mean, look, we talked a little about this before we get into first, but let's do a direct comparison. I mean, the Clippers are going to catch the Warriors, I think, for the 8th seed most likely. I mean, the guys are healthy, so they're going to catch the Warriors. But they did something pretty exciting at the deadline. James Harden, as usual, wanted out because whatever, I don't know, he didn't have enough money or something, didn't get enough money or whatever. So they moved him quickly, and they moved him for Darius Garland. They made a trade for Mathurin. And a pick for Zubac, right? So I think the Clippers, you can make the argument, are kind of in the same boat as the Warriors, right? Where they're kind of going nowhere. They're not going to do shit this season. They're not going to win anything. But Sam, I would argue, let me ask you this. Would you argue, though, making those trades for those players, is that not more exciting than what we're watching with the Warriors right now?
Yeah, mostly just because they shake up the roster. Like there is something to be said for when you don't have it. Just give me something new.
Yep. I think so. I think that's where I'm going. It's just like I don't actually like Benedict Mathurin. I don't. He reminds me a lot of Kuminga. But I would rather watch that right now. Right. And then Garland. I've always been a Garland fan.
I like Mathurin more than Kuminga for one specific reason. I've never read a Shams article about Mathurin's feelings.
By the way,
at least dude understands he's not a fucking superstar yet. And he doesn't act like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even trying to be a dick about it, although I know this can get clipped and the same 5 people who hate me are going to do it. But like, I don't actually mind either of their games, to be clear. Like they're work in progress, some very positive skills. God knows the Warriors could use the athleticism. That's a fact, So that's definitely something right there. But the decision making to be wanted, like focus in many aspects of the game to be wanted. But the thing I like about Mathurin is he just kind of rides with it, and I don't really hear about complaining left and right about it.
The Atlanta Hawks situation monitoring here is going to be fascinating to me because it forever interests me who should take the blame if he ends up playing a couple more good games against bad teams. Because are we blaming Steve Kerr or are we blaming the Warriors management? Because who else are we blaming? Are we blaming Steph? Like, because then it goes into like, all right, so are you blaming the guys? Should we just fire Steve? Are you just mad because maybe other people don't have the same opinions as you online? Maybe that's it, but what does that have to do? What does that have to do with what Steve Kerr has said and what Steph has said and what Joe Lacob has done? Hey, by all means, if that's the problem, then just go get rid of all those guys. I just don't know what you want me to. I just don't know what you want me, what these guys to do. They made the trade. Steve didn't like him. He's gone. Then go get rid of Steve. If that's the case, I'm sorry. Steve's going to be back next season.
All right. By the way, I got a tangent for you right now. Steve, they trade Kuminga in. That we can talk for a second in a minute. They trade Kuminga for at the lowest of his value. Let's be honest. Like, my expectations were low, but holy shit, that's it. Like that sort of thing. And then they extend Guy Santos. Both those moves feel like Steve's getting extended. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Steve's gonna get kicked out the door, you think they're going to get rid of Kuminga for what looks like a salary dump?
No,
and
brutal.
Like the moves do feel like moves where it's like, well, Steve's staying, so we're going to do what he wants.
By the way, I'm not as we know, Kuminga guy, but that's brutal. That is, you say what you want. That is a brutal turn of events. Not turn of events. That is just a brutal like situation that the Warriors have put themselves in. Okay, we got to talk about other things, including Steph, who we haven't talked about yet. So we got to get to that. But before we do, the Warriors Light Years podcast is brought to you by our friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks makes every dunk, every diamond, every board that much more exciting. So do not miss this chance to get started on America's #1 app for sports pick. Make your picks, in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports takes into real money all season long. Here's what we got for you guys, man. Tomorrow, VJ Edgecombe. I know that's speaking of exciting players that you can dream on.
The pods of the Eastern Conference.
Some say. Same level of athleticism. Listen. If Pod's number today,
two dunk contest participants.
Yeah. I don't know what Pod's numbers were today, but VJ Edgecombe's number tomorrow is at 19.5 points. Pods went more over 19.5. VJ Edgecombe, if you think he's better than Pods, hit the more on 19.5 points tomorrow. And it's got a little devil face icon next to his name, which means that you get even better odds if you go with that. And then another one that you can also go with is Julian Champagne. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Shooter, another Anthony Morrow type, 14.5 points. So you can go more with that one. Philly and Spurs.
Nate Williams 2.0 right there, baby.
Come on. So, you guys know what you need to do. Download the app today. Use code LightYears. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. It's code LightYears to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
It is good to be right.
When we do Quince, let's do our friends at Quince. Our buddies over at Quince. Well-built wardrobe is about the pieces that work together and hold up over time. That's what Quince does best. Premium materials, thoughtful design, everyday staples that feel easy to wear and easy to rely on, even as the weather shifts. I got rain this morning. I don't know what's going on. We got rain, and then midway through the day, it's 75 degrees again, and then end of the day, it's freezing again. But doesn't matter where you live, whether you're in the peninsula, whether you're in SF, whether you're in East Bay, whether you're in wherever in the Bay Area, we got 50,000 types of weathers that happens a day. Doesn't matter. Quince has the everyday essentials that you need with quality that lasts. They got organic cotton sweaters, polos, light jackets, big jackets, high quality. My personal favorite is the cotton tees that they've got. It's about to be hot here in the peninsula, so I'm going cotton tees all day, every day. Everything's built to hold up to daily wear. And here is what you need to do. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/lightyears for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/lightyears. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/lightyears.
I did get some good stuff from Quince. I recommend it for everyone, but I got to wear my Jimmy Butler jersey in solidarity tonight. If only because I want to. If only I just want to find a reason to feel good about myself while doing this right now.
You missed that guy.
Yeah, good player. It would be better if he didn't tear his knee. I'll tell you that. I don't think Jimmy's ever going to play for the Warriors again. I mean, we've talked about this in the past. I know you don't feel as strongly as me about that. Might be the smarter money play. You're just betting on their incompetence, which, to be fair,
I guarantee you he's going to play on the Warriors next season.
Hey, look, the math. Look, statistically, if I'm betting on the Warriors to be innovative versus reactionary,
history is on my side.
History is definitely on your side, but I want to believe. That's my mantra, right? So like they're gonna shop his contract in the offseason because just from salary matching with the new cap, like it has to be done. They're also gonna do it with Draymond, to be clear, but his $54 million on an expiring contract is going to be a trade chip. And I was thinking about it before this. We love to be like, oh, what if they trade for Trey Murphy and Zion? Oh, what if they trade for Giannis or something like this? We all know that's not happening. Stop it. Will I talk myself into it the minute Shams has the inkling of a rumor? Obviously I will, but like it's not happening. You and I both know the most likely scenario, if they do something like that, is using Jimmy's contract to get like another old guy. Am I right? Am I wrong?
Who might that be?
Well, they're not going to give up 14. They're not going to give up a bunch of picks. They've shown us consistently that they're not that team. And so, I just keep thinking about it when you think about Steph Curry, you think about Draymond Green, but more about Steph. When you think about this $56 million salary cap slot they have, when you think about the fact that the front office is not willing to overspend, it's gonna be LeBron or Kawhi, because those are guys that Steph knows. Maybe I'll throw Paul George in there too. By the way, I'll throw Paul George in there too. But like,
it's a big difference between those two guys and Paul George. That's brutal.
Correct.
That is.
But brutal. Like, can you hear me through this? Like, if Steph's gonna push for someone, it's gonna be guys that he knows, for better or worse, right? And you'd hope the front office would push for guys he doesn't know, but they have conviction can be great guys. But I don't have any faith they're going to do that in any capacity, unless the Giannis decides to come here, right? So I think it's legitimately going to be like, can we figure out a sign and trade for LeBron or Kawhi with the Jimmy salary spot, or they're going to start selling his propaganda about how Jimmy looks ahead of schedule with his injury recovery.
And I guess they're definitely going to say that. But yes, go ahead.
Well, of course. I guess my question for you is: I watching the Clipper game tonight in this fantasy land I've created in my head. But like, be honest with me, you do agree it's more realistic than them trading for MPJ or Miles Turner or any of these things, right?
Absolutely.
Do you agree with me? Joe's more about the old guy sizzle. He can sell that than them like piecemealing Jimmy and 3 picks for a bunch of 20-somethings who don't sell tickets, right? Anyway, putting that aside, gun to Andy Lou's head metaphorically. Would you rather have Kawhi Leonard or LeBron in Jimmy's slot, and why? I mean, option B is we talk about if we think Nate Williams is going to be on this team next year.
We're not.
So
I'm not sure that.
Your call on which topic you want to get into.
I'm going to sleep. 10:08 p.m. I'm going to bed if we're talking about. I think it's my first question that pops in my head, half jokingly but not really is Jimmy Butler or Kawhi Leonard play more games next season? That's the first question that pops in my head, even though Jimmy's the one with the torn ACL. And it's not like Jimmy has a freaking he's not an Iron Man either. Kawhi Leonard is objectively a much better player than LeBron James right now. I think he's very, very, very clearly a much better player than LeBron. He's healthy. I don't know how he's healthy, but he's healthy. He's younger. He's younger, 34, which means he's he's my age. I didn't realize that. So he's 34, very young still. Going to be turning 35 in June. I'm looking in here, but that's still 5 years younger, 6 years younger than LeBron. But more importantly, he's just a better player. So I think you'd have to go with Kawhi if you do that route, Sam. But selfishly, okay, I've given this answer here a few times, but now this question is posed much differently because the answer I think is obviously Kawhi. But selfishly, I would love to see LeBron because here's the thing, man. They're not winning the championship with either guy. You know what I mean? Like Kawhi's going to play 40 games next season. And LeBron's going to not be very good because he's just not very good anymore. LeBron is not very good anymore. He's not.
I disagree.
Like a top 40 player. But give me the entertainment. Sam, next year you and I are going to sit here freaking mid-February. We're going to be tired. Your son's going to be a year older. My son's going to be a year older. We're going to be a year more older. We're going to be tired. I want to sit here. I want to talk about Steph and LeBron. That shit's entertaining at least. At least I want to talk about that. So give me Steph and LeBron. Our downloads will go up. It'll be good for the pod. It'll be good for me and you. Give me LeBron. All right? Make the case for Kawhi. I know you're going to do Kawhi.
Two thoughts on that. One, just literally doing anything will be good for the pod because, shocker, people are more interested in hearing about a team who has a puncher's chance than whatever this is turning into. But putting that aside, I hate that you went that route, but I'm actually going to – so my answer was LeBron, but it's for a different reason. I legitimately think it's a better basketball move. And I say this as someone who told you I would never be okay with LeBron a year ago.
You really
I put my pride aside at this point. I put my pride aside. And let me walk you through the reasons I think this is a better basketball fit. Because look, someone is saying it'll sell more tickets.
True.
Correct. But I'm going to make a pure basketball case, okay? So take all the BS out of it because, like, end of the day, either of them would be great basketball-wise, right? What do the Warriors need more than anything?
I mean, a lot of things.
Sure, but I would argue that the thing they need more is a playmaker, a guy who gets other guys going, a guy who can leverage his offensive skill to get other guys going. LeBron is the best point forward of all time. Even at this stage of his career where he's not his peak self, he still walks into like 23, 7, and 7. Because he's just, I mean, he's 6'8", he's 250 pounds, maybe the best passer of all time. Definitely knows how to leverage his size and passing ability to do it. So just in terms of skill set, you know, the metaphor, gun to my head, I'd rather have that skill set than Kawhi's skill set, even though they would both be phenomenal. Like, to make it clear, either one would be great. You know.
By the way, I agree with you. I actually agree with you, 100%.
Two, I actually think LeBron looks worse this year than he should look because he's a horrendous fit with Luka, and I think that there's some hatred going on there. So it feels more realistic there. It feels a little more realistic that they can get to him. Yeah. So my whole thing is like, look, we all know LeBron fits perfectly with Steph. Like, their games are meant to play together, right? Like, Steph plays well with every point forward of all time. And LeBron plays well with anyone who knows how to move off ball. It is the most perfect marriage of all time, right? Even if they're old guys, they'll still figure it out. And if you just have three guys who know how to play around them, you'll be fine. I want to see that. And then the last point is the one you've made. Somehow Kawhi's played 3 more games than LeBron this year. That's never happening again. I'm sorry. It's just not. It's not. Kawhi, I don't know. To your point, LeBron will be 42 next season, which is insane. I have more faith in his physical health next year than I do Kawhi's.
Oh, I do as well. I absolutely do as well. I agree.
So.
Hey, we've landed on the same page. Who do you think Joe Lacob would? Who do you think Joe Lacob's in? Who do you think he wants? Who do you think?
Whichever one costs less picks. That's what I think.
That's LeBron then.
Maybe. I think it's probably the same, to be honest. Who does Steph want? I think it's LeBron. I really do think it's LeBron.
Too. I think so too.
I think if you asked him, he'd be cool either way. But I think with LeBron, you know, they play on Team USA together. LeBron's a little more of an alpha, which like was obviously one of the positive aspects that Jimmy brought to the team. Like, sometimes you just need another guy who's like on your level and actually will verbalize it, right? Which like, hey, we're not fucking around anymore. Stop, you know. And it carries a little more weight than like pods or someone saying it. You know, like I'm not trying to be a dick to any of the young guys, but like, you know, so it's a little more helpful than Steph and Draymond being the only ones, right?
Guy Santos might average 18 points a game next season. I'm tell you that right now.
Moses Moody might be an all-star.
You know, might be Quinn. Nah, maybe not. Maybe not QP. But some of these players on this Warriors team, they're still going to be. Look, we're not, and I'm certainly not saying that this pushes them over the edge at all. It's more of this team's got to do something. It's entertaining. They'll be better, but they've got a lot of players. If they're going to keep these guys, they've got a lot of players that do fit really well around like 2 stars that can get guys open, which is literally what Steph and LeBron does. I mean, Moody.
That's the funny thing, because like when the season started, I think you and I were both like, they need to upgrade the supporting cast. They need to find like another Andrew Wiggins, like a overqualified role player, or like a quasi star, like a guy who's like probably not a star, but he's like better than Moody or Pods as role players, right? Like that was what we were thinking. And then the injury happened. I think my mindset shifted the opposite way, which is like, dude, just get another guy who can command a double team, make decisions, and be like an actual star. I actually kind of like all the role players they have. And I'm cool with seeing what happens if you put a co-star. I'm like, fine. They want Giannis, like, sure. I want Giannis too. It's not happening, guys. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, the idea of like put another co-star with Steph and see what happens.
They have to. I mean, they absolutely have to, because you just look at this roster. They've got guys that can do the small stuff. That's, I think, what Steve Kerr and this coaching staff and even Mike Dunleavy not excel, but like they're good at it. Like they are good at developing these guys. Like Guy Santos is objectively a great story. And he is a player that is going to be in the NBA for a
Will Richard.
Yeah, what happened to him? He got hurt or something? I was looking for him tonight. This is how out of the loop I am. I was like, dude, where's Will Richard? Like, that's someone I want to watch. But I guess he was hurt and he's going to be out for a little bit. So, but like, that's another guy, right, that this team needs. So, I'm in on LeBron. I mean, I think that look, you Sam sources. I'm sure Sam sources, but I think the smoke is there. I do think the smoke is there. I think LeBron's. I don't even know whether. I don't think Kawhi Leonard's realistic stuff is realistic at all. So I don't know if you brought up just as a pure hypothetical, if there's something there that you heard about. But I do think the LeBron stuff is like, that stuff is way more realistic, because I think anytime a move is too obvious, like he's going back to Cleveland, like, I don't know, it's a little too obvious, and then he's obviously not going back to LA. Doesn't seem that way. He's definitely not retiring, right? Can imagine that. Is he going to do his retirement tour on the Warriors? That's weird. With Steph next to him? Is that weird?
I also like, that's part of the reason I'm like, I can't see it happening. I can't see him doing the retirement tour on the Warriors. It's how
do you sell
it just
that?
feels
How does Clutch sell that?
It just feels unrealistic. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's odd.
Yeah. Before we move forward, guys, let's talk about our friends over at BodySpec real quick. Look, you know we love them. Guys, you want to get in shape? You want to look like Andy Lou? You want to look like, 200 pounds, 4% body fat like Andy? The first part's being honest with yourself. And be honest with yourself, you got to get DEXA Scan. What is the DEXA scan? It's a highly accurate method of measuring your body's composition, lean muscle mass, body fat percentage, visceral fat, the things that are really going on in your body. And what I love about BodySpec is they've made it affordable for everyone. So traditionally, this has cost, I don't know, $500, $600. With BodySpec, you can get a scan for only $45 with the code LightYears45. Guys, that's $45. Use the code LightYears45. Get a scan for only $45. Locations in San Francisco and LA, mobile vans that will go anywhere in the greater Bay Area or Los Angeles. No brainer. Guys, BodySpec.com, use the code LightYears45, start your fitness journey. It really is a no-brainer. Just throw it out there.
By the way, shout out to A-Lau. Ran our 10K yesterday. A-Lau was there. I missed him. I think he ran like a 7-minute mile. So shout out to A-Lau. BodySpec's guy. He gotta be at 4%.
Do you think working for BodySpec has got him like a little more locked in? Like you can't go into the office hungover running a 10-minute mile.
Yeah. That's me. That's me. I wish you
can't be selling that product and showing up and smelling like tequila, running the 12-minute 30-second mile, just being happy to be there. No, you can't do that.
That's literally what I did. That's like the Miami Heat. I bet you they got BodySpec. They have to have BodySpec. They just you can't even. You go in every morning for your workouts. BodySpec. We're tracking that every day. We're tracking what you're doing all day long. So
you do 10K. What'd you run 10K?
You just said it, bro. I run like an 11-minute mile. I was drinking. I had a couple.
I need the final time.
Yeah, I gotta look it up, but I didn't even time myself. I'm just happy to be there. I'm like the Warriors right now. I'm just happy. I'm happy to be there. I hadn't ran in a couple months. I was been sick for a month straight.
These are Pat Spencer minutes. You're just happy to compete. Just happy to compete.
I was just happy.
I just like compete and
finish. I was happy to finish. I'm not a fast runner. But I like running. Like the fastest 10K I've ever ran is like 10 minutes per. Like I'm not a fast. I just like running. But yeah, do 10K. We drank a little before too. It's a new thing now. I don't know if I should. That's not how we're sponsoring BodySpec, but it's a new thing now. People have a little beer before they start running. So I tried some of that. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Don't do that if you want to go.
I've never ran. So I don't run the way you do because I have some feet issues, but I've never ran more than the 5K, like timed. So
yeah,
I need to do 10K. I need to do it one of these days. Like I do all sorts of other fitness things, but I've not run a timed 10K.
Yeah,
we need to do that. Light years 10K. Let everyone watch me run, laugh at me, watch the pain, go down my leg.
Yeah, that's shooting pain. I think that's a back problem, man. It's some Porzingis issues.
Yeah, I'm about to be in the chiropractor's office right afterwards. That's what's gonna happen. That goes down. You see Steve pregame? Actually, let's talk Steph. Let's do Steph.
Okay, let's do Steph. Okay, all right. Okay.
Steph is out. He's not getting reevaluated for another 10 days. Now rumors are coming out he probably won't play until April. I don't know if it's true, but he has not played since late January. With this new 10-day evaluation, our best case is mid-March. Do you have thoughts on it?
I've hinted about this, I think, in the last few shows. I think I'm going to go all in on this, and I think it's a little depressing. But the first thing you do when you Google runner's knee, the first thing that pops up is it happens because of overuse. And I do think for someone like Steph, who runs the most in the NBA, and is also one of the smallest players in the NBA, and is also one of the oldest players in the NBA. It's not good. You just said that he might not play the rest of the season. I don't know if you were serious or not. I don't know. You're just throwing it out there. I think that's might be the best course of action, actually. Like, they might have to wait till next season for that, because even if he does play, are you risking more injury? You're also not winning. Like, if they win a play-in game, they're going to play the Thunder. They're going to get their asses handed to them by the Thunder. Like, what's the value? Like, what's the, as they say in the biz, what's the ROI on that? I don't think much. You get two playoff games, home playoff games, Joe Lacob. Is that worth it to you? Because I don't.
You don't know Joe's answer to that. So, no, I my thought on this is when Jimmy got hurt and they didn't do anything special at the trade deadline, I think the MO has changed from let's see what happens to let's end this season with no one getting hurt. So my genuine belief is Steph could play today if it was a playoff game. Let's pretend it was last year or just like a season where you feel like you have a shot. I think Steph could fight through it. And I think he could fight through it right now. And I think the general perspective the team is taking is we're not going anywhere. We need Steph healthy for next season, which sucks because he's old, man. I don't know how many games. Like, he's not even playing his. I guess technically he could. His birthday is in 12 days. He's probably not going to play on it, you know? Like, it's one of those things where I'm just kind of disappointed by the whole thing. So, I don't know, but I think that's what's happening here. I think they're going to be ultra cautious with him physically, and I think he's probably okay with it because he knows, like, they're not going to fall out of the plan. They're also not going to go above the plan. So I think that's what's happening here.
He will play, I think, though. All that being said, because, I mean, he's going to play. I mean, look at him. He's still sitting on the bench every game. I just think it means too much to him. I think he knows, you know, as the leader, he leads by example. He doesn't lead by talking, right? And the example is he's going to go out there and play. So I think he'll be back. But for the hopefully not where he can come back and hurt himself further, because you just said it, dude. That would be really depressing if he comes back and has a much more serious injury. This seems like not a doctor, but this seems like that type of like arthritis type of injury where it's just like yeah, man, he's not playing till he's 42 probably. like he's probably got a couple years left in him, and hopefully he does, because these types of injuries, I don't know, man. These are like the types where it's like he's got a back injury. You're like, fuck. Like if Steph like hurt his hand, be like, all right, that's cool. He's coming back in a month. The hand's gonna heal, right? Like a sprained wrist. He's gonna be fine.
You jam your thumb, or it's like I can't like move it. And cool. It's like, all right, well, we'll put in a splint. You'll be fine in 2 weeks. Yeah, exactly.
Knee, like an overuse of the knee. Yeah, you can't really mess around with that. So
it's not ideal. I don't know. Like it seems to me like, just to take it to meta conversation, seems to me they've quit on the season. Seems to me that all they really care about is getting to the finish line without any more catastrophic injuries. And everything they're saying publicly is just lying beyond that. And then they're going to tell us that they're going to reset and, oh, now we got like the 12th pick in the draft. We got all this stuff going for us and all that stuff. And it's like, we'll see. I don't necessarily believe them today, but I understand the concept of like the season kind of fell apart. You might as well just be smart about it and then get to an off season where you have a little more cap flexibility.
Hey, you just said the magic words, brother. And you know what the magic words were? 12th overall pick, baby. You just said the magic words. Joe Lacob just lit the fuck up. You think Mike Dunleavy came into his office a week ago and was like, Joe, I got an idea for you, boss. Look, Steph is hurt. Jimmy's
Joe,
out.
I got this guy in East Carolina. He's probably 2 years away from contributing, but I like him.
2 years away from being 2 years away, most likely.
Let's get you on a connector flight. You're gonna fly through Nashville, then you're gonna have to fly. You have to get on a little hopper for the.
Put it first class, whatever you need on the card, on me. Put us in the best hotel, fucking there. Fuck the Warriors. Yeah, that's probably how he sold it. It's 12th overall pick. The fuck are we doing here? That's probably what they'll end up with, right? If they
that's like the reality of it. If you look at just the standings, like they don't really have a real path to like get one of those top 5 picks where it's like, okay, now we're talking about something. And they don't really have a pathway to get to the playoffs either. Could be the 11, could be the 14, but number 2, it will not be. You know, like I'll tell you that.
Number 2, it would not be. Look, hey, wow, we started the show with the Giants comparison. Maybe I don't know if we're ending the show soon, but the Giants went from a 14th overall pick this season, and Rob Manfred threw him a bone. They gave him the 4th overall pick. Good draft, so they say. So maybe the Warriors, Adam Silver, you want to throw Joe a bone? Probably not. Probably not. But can you help?
I will say, this is a draft to be in the top 3. Like
3? Can you say 8? Can you say 9? Can you say 10?
As of today, March 2nd, which is my fancy way of saying I reserve the right to revise my statement. If they had a top 3 pick, I would not trade it. I don't care who's available unless it's like Jokic, which is not available. Picks 4 through 10, I like them. I really do. But they feel like the exact type of player that's going to cause you trauma. Where Steve's probably not going to play him enough. They're probably not ready enough to contribute. Like, I'll put it this way. I'm not saying any of the top 3 picks are as good as Cooper Flagg, but they feel like Cooper Flagg picks where literally you can't fuck it up. Does that make sense? Like, they're going to play. Your biggest question is, are they good enough to be the best player on a team in a bunch of years, or are they just going to be a 3rd option on a title team? You know, like, one of the most popular things for Cam Boozer is, he might just be Kevin Love. Kevin Love's pretty good, you know what I'm saying? Like, that sort of thing, right? Anyway, I'm putting that aside. They're not getting there, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Top 10? Comments are saying top 10 is loaded. So I hope
it's a loaded draft. It is a loaded draft. I like players in the top 15, to be clear. I just, for this specific Warriors team, them landing the 6th pick, taking a combo guard who Steve won't play.
Oh, I can't wait. You know what? I'm actually rooting for that.
I don't want it. I don't want to have that conversation.
The smart move is to trade it, but let's not.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Fantasy.
It's not a high enough pick to get a killer trade package, and it's just, I know exactly how it's going to play out.
But look. I think real take though, Mike Dunleavy, we haven't seen him draft in the lottery yet, so he's been a good drafter. Like, he knows how to identify talent. I think he's better. He's going to do a better job than Bob Meyer. So the bar's fucking low. Bob drafted some shitty fucking players. I also
think Mike gets the advantage of Joe got egg on his face with Wiseman and Kuminga.
Yep.
So it's gonna be a little easier to be like, Joe, you want to do that again, or you want to listen? You know,
I think Joe wants to do that again. Joe's redemption, baby.
Joe wants to cook. Don't get me wrong. Joe's your boy who just always wants to stick. So, hey, pass over. My turn. FIFA. Give me my turn. You know,
enough, Joe.
So I get
that.
Go
by the Padres, dude. Just go by the Padres. Leave us alone. Leave me alone. Leave us alone.
Joe versus Preller.
Can you imagine?
The ultimate prospect hugger versus the guy who will trade any prospect. It's a great battle.
If they balanced each other up, that actually might be, because Preller's kind of too nuts. So it'd actually be a good balance if they. I love AJ. I love AJ Preller, but yeah, I could just see the arguments of Joe being like, we can't trade him, and Preller being like, he's 16 and he plays in Dominican. He's never played in the big leagues. Relax. Baseball prospects a whole different story too. It's a whole different fucking state.
Bro,
16 and like, dude, this guy.
Bro, just imagine Joe flying across the world to check out like a 16-year-old. Actually, edit that out. No.
Okay, we're done. Let's get. You need to watch Industry. With that being said, but yeah, we're
no, it's. I mean, Joe loves the draft. Imagine Joe in a sport where you get a whole minor leagues. It'd Be very into it.
I'm telling you, man, he will be, dude. These guys, like the Giants, just paid $5 million for a guy that's 16 years old. Like we have no idea, like if he's any good. 60, he's not going to be the majors for 4 years minimum. You give him $5 million. Like Joe's gonna love it. And you know what? They've been scouting these guys. And you know this. They've been scouting these guys since they've been like 12. Like they've
That's always
known these
that's
kids
always the crazy.
forever.
That's always the craziest part to me. It's like you're scouting him from 12, and then you have to make it like an executive decision where you put real money on the line when they're not old enough to take an SATs. You know,
Crazy.
like it's kind of it's crazy. You know,
Crazy. It's crazy. Joe's built for baseball. Get him over to the Saints, man. Get him over to the Saints.
I appreciate.